So I find mast cells, and here's the thing, I'm a T-cell biologist by training, and I had to unlearn what I learned to understand a cell population that we can't be born without. So you can actually be born without T cells. You can be born without neutrophils. You cannot be born without mast cells. And interestingly enough, that amounted to 1 or 2 lectures in first year of medical school many, many moons ago. So it's an interesting population because you really don't see them in the blood. So a standard blood test won't pick it up. They start in the bone marrow, kind of like a man or woman who joins the police academy. And then after they get their initial education that you're going to be a mast cell, they get their marching orders, okay? And they basically go to every single part of the body and act as the first line of defense for that community of cells that face the environment. So you can imagine like a man or woman who's assigned, to work in Times Square versus, a small town in New York State. They have to learn how to meet the needs of that community. So it is the community that educates the mast cell on what its job to do in order to better serve and protect that community. And so, and unfortunately, we know little about the mast cells relatively compared to other cells of the immune system and even the body itself. But in many ways, the mast cell has a lot of key jobs. They have receptors to recognize tissue injury and damage, which happens in higher frequency in individuals that have hypermobility issues. And they have the ability to coordinate the immune response to the damage. So not all, damage is the same. Kind of like a man or woman sees a fire versus somebody down, you want to call the fire department, not the SWAT team, or you want to call an ambulance if somebody's down, as opposed to the cavalry on the horse and chargers. So the mast cell makes the decision: is it a mechanical injury? Is it an infectious insult? Is it a toxic exposure? And they're hardwired for recognizing certain dangers. And then depending on what they recognize, they will release chemicals, right? And so mast cell orders are recognizing tissue injury and responding to it. And once the harm is contained, they help coordinate the repair. So if these chemicals get released inappropriately, like if your body thinks peanut is a parasite, you have these chemicals that go out that have the ability to kill, detoxify, recruit in other help. It's like a false alarm that goes off all the time.